Hi friends, welcome to another episode of ZipTalks. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Puneet Chhatwal. He is the Managing Director and CEO of the Indian Hotels Company Limited, the Taj Group of Hotels. He has over 30 years of leadership experience in acclaimed hotel groups worldwide in both Europe and the US, including the Carlson Hotels worldwide and more recently the Steinberger AG Group of Hotels in Germany, where he was the CEO and the member of the executive board. Thank you so much, Puneet, for doing this show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to get right into it. So, what is your fitness philosophy?
Actually, none. So, I think you need to feel good, and if you want to look good, and if you want to stay good, and also do good, you have to be fit in one or the other form.
Yes.
Not just in terms of your body, but your mind and your soul. So, finding a balance between all three is what we try to do, and I think it works well for me. That's the philosophy or the mantra or the secret that I have.
No, I think that's really wonderful, that point which you said, not only to feel good but also to do good, and for your mind and your body and your soul. But how do you motivate yourself to focus on whether it's well-being, whether it's health, whether it's nutrition? Is there any particular routine that you follow, exercise, meditation? What is it that you do?
Well, I definitely try 3 to 4 days a week to do some form of workout. As a global company, we tend to live on different time zones. You have a lot of travel, business travel to do, not in the last 3-4 months, obviously,
That's right.
but that's been the life for over 3 decades. And wherever and whenever you get time, you do something. So I would say eating well is very important. Avoiding foods that are difficult to digest on a consistent basis. Walking, if not running, as much as possible.
Yes.
And all the time about giving back. And that giving back gives you the mental peace. It gives you the chance for allowing your body to rest, and that allows you to do some form of workout.
Yes. No, I think allowing your body to rest, having the peace of mind, and that comes from, like you said, giving back, gives you the energy as well to work out. But Puneet, tell me, you have lived for over 30 years now in Europe. You studied there and you worked there. So how has that impacted and influenced your approach to health and nutrition?
Well, some of these things just come automatic. So if you live in Europe and if you don't live in Southern Europe,
yes.
the likelihood that you end up eating before 8 is very high. If you live in Europe, the likelihood that you end up walking a lot is very high. Firstly, because people do walk a lot.
Yes.
Secondly, they have no choice but to walk. So they say in the US without a car and in Europe without legs, you're seriously handicapped, right? So, you can't just call somebody to your doorstep, pick you up and drop you somewhere. So you're driving yourself, you're doing a lot of things yourself, and then you have to walk from one parking garage to the next one. Right? So I think some of the natural walking in is built in. The awareness in Europe about being healthy and staying fit is very high. 5 of the top 10 healthiest nations in the world are in Europe. And I would actually say almost everything, including God's gift in the form of nature to Europe. Besides, it's not a tropical country, it's not near equator, it does not get those strong deserts and kind of different extremes in climate. Of course, if you talk about Northern Europe, it might be a bit more than Southern Europe, but it is kind of a fun place which is very balanced, and I think naturally you're bound to be healthier and fitter when you have had the opportunity to live in Europe. So look at myself. I was not the one working out 7 days a week, but I kind of ended up doing better because I lived in Europe for 3 decades.
Yes. No, absolutely. I think I've never had the opportunity to live in Europe, but I have visited them multiple times. As you're aware, I used to be in Deutsche Bank, so I got to go to Germany a lot. But their whole approach to fitness and the outdoors and the walking part that you said, a lot of my colleagues in Deutsche Bank, they used to bicycle to work or walk to work. And here we get into cars. So if you check your steps, you hardly run any steps in India when you're working. Yeah. But in the hotel industry, there's no concept of weekends. All holidays you're working. So I've always wanted to ask, how do you manage work-life balance?
I think this term was coined because work-life balance is difficult to manage and maybe it does not exist to some extent. And it's not just the weekends, you're working on Christmas, you're working on Diwali, you're
Absolutely.
working on the New Year Eve,
Yeah.
making life happier for all. So of course that is one form of the balance, which I say giving back. Making other people happy is also a form of joy which helps you relax and do well. But I do believe that as a hotelier you end up eating sometimes very rich food and do end up having good wines too because you develop a taste for it. So the guilt factor the next day is quite heavy and that pushes you to do something in return for your body. So I think the balance is created by itself.
Yes, actually, on the good food part, I've always wanted to know, working in a hotel, how do you stay away from the temptation of eating all the delicious food that is made in the hotel?
Just don't stay away, enjoy the food, enjoy the caviar, enjoy the asparagus, enjoy the hollandaise sauce, even the butter sauce on asparagus, but then do something, walk a little bit more and maybe eat a little bit less on the next meal. But you have only one life and staying healthy does not mean giving up on many things. I think it's all about finding the right balance.
Finding the right balance. I'm going to remember that. So tell me, in the Taj Group of hotels today, is there any fitness routine or a program that you have for your employees? They all work long hours and...
Yeah. I think that's a very good question and we take that very seriously. So we've worked or collaborated with an app called Healthify Me, which is kind of a fun competition among staff. So who did more steps, who burned more calories. So all the time this kind of charts, people are in different teams.
Yes.
So it's going on.
Wow.
And recently I saw an impact, including in my own office, with my executive assistant and my assistant both having suddenly started to lose weight. That's how I got to know that they are in collaboration teams with this app that we are using. Second is mindfulness. We have had a few seminars and lectures on mindfulness, including a professional that came from Germany to help the leadership team do it. And I think last not least, our HR department has been very good in creating personalized counseling for people who might need some form of counseling on what they are required to do, what they should be doing, what they might be missing. So I think the combination of these three is already a very good start.
Wow, I think a lot of companies can, learn from this. And I think that Healthify app, that concept is so good and it creates healthy competition.
Especially in India. Especially because since our childhood we're used to competitive spirit.
Absolutely.
The moment you create competition, nobody wants to be last. If at least not the first, they want to be the first three. So it works.
Yes. No, and I think the counseling sessions in an environment like this, a lot of people would be undergoing a lot of stress as well, and the hotel industry is also, going through its own set of challenges. So having counseling sessions would really help the employees even now.
Yeah, but I do believe that if you consistently have a great place to work and a great atmosphere, then the counseling is not really needed for the majority. There are some others who may need counseling because of other reasons, because they may not be living in the nicest of places, or they might have ended up, like in today's world, being in a containment zone without any fault of theirs.
Yes.
So I think that's the kind of situations which colleagues might be confronted with, and they need help in that case because hotels are shut thanks to a lockdown. The COVID-19 has had a very serious impact on the industry, and if you end up without any fault of yours in living in some area or having any family member getting impacted through COVID, then it is a challenge. In such situations, outside help, counseling helps. Otherwise, I think we all need to create great places to work and create great people to work with, and that helps to build and create great organizations, and ultimately results in a balance of work, life, and health.
Yes. No, and a place you look forward to going to every day to work, because you're spending more hours of your waking up in your workplace, and in the hotel industry it's even longer. So you've helped create that environment, which is wonderful. So this is now the last question, Puneet. What 2 tips would you like to leave with our viewers and listeners?
I think one is, as I said already before, watch what you eat. Try to eat healthy food, not all the time. Indulge in the occasional junk food too. It's not that bad to do it occasionally, but don't do it on a regular basis. And second, remember, whatever you are doing, you're in the driver's seat, so you call the shots. So find the right balance, and the right balance is the right way forward. And I don't think anything that is written in book is cast in stone. You can find your own way, your own path.
Yes. No, I think excellent. Both points really good. Find your right balance, friends. I think a lot of takeaways from this session with Puneet, I found it really valuable, and the point that he spoke about also to give to which will give you mental peace and how it will help your well-being. I thought that point was really fantastic. I hope you found this talk as useful and as valuable as I did. You can find us on YouTube channel #ziptofitness, on Instagram page ziptofitness, and on podcast channels on Spotify and Apple iTunes at ZipTalks. Thank you.